Hello, my dear students. I think you all are safe at your home. In the present situation, avoid going crowded places. Now I am here with you to teach you the second part of the poem, A Tiger in the Zoo, written by Leslie Norris. We have seen the tiger is already inside the cage. This poem contrasts the tiger in the zoo and the tiger in its natural habitat. The tiger is already inside the cage. It is quiet. Why? Because he is not able to come outside. So he is quiet, but actually in rage. Now move on to the third stanza. All of you take your literature reader. But he is locked in a concrete cell, his trunk behind bars, stalking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. But he is locked in a concrete cell. The tiger is already locked in a concrete cell. That means it is inside the cage. His trunk behind bars. That means his trunk behind the bars. His power is restricted by the cage. He is not able to show his power. That means his power is restricted by the cage. Stalking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. He is walking to and fro inside the cage. He is walking, that means he is restless, and he is stalking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. That means he does not listen the visitors. Why? As he is not able to attack them. He does not care the visitors, as he is not able to attack them. Listen this stanza once more. But he is locked in a concrete cell, his trunk behind bars, stalking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. The tiger is already locked in a concrete cell, that is inside the concrete cell, his trunk behind bars. His power is restricted by the cage. His power is restricted. He is not able to show his ferociousness. Listen, stalking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. He is walking the length of his cage. That means he is walking inside the cage to and fro, ignoring visitors. Many visitors are there, but he does not listen them. Why? He is not able to attack them. He is not able to come out of the cage, so he does not care them. Listen, he is locked in the tiger is already locked in a concrete cell, so his power is restricted by the cage. He is walking inside to and fro inside the cage, and he does not care the visitors, as he is not able to attack them. Then move on to the next stanza. He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. He hears the last voice at night. At night, the tiger hears the last voice, the voice of the patrolling cars. The patrolling cars here means the vehicles which are used by the police to protect the people. At night, the tiger hears the voice of the patrolling cars and stares with his brilliant eyes, and he is not bothered about all these things. He stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. He stares at the brilliant stars with his brilliant eyes. Listen once more the last stanza. What is the meaning of the last stanza? Through the last stanza, the poet says that the tiger is already inside the cage. He hears the sound of the patrolling cars at night. That means the vehicles which are used by the police to protect the people. He hears the sound of the patrolling cars at night. Then he does not bother about all these things. What does it do? Then the tiger, the tiger stares at the stars with his brilliant eyes. He stares at the brilliant stars with his brilliant eyes. Then what is the meaning of the last stanza? Listen once more. He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. That means the last stanza, the poet says that the tiger which is in the zoo hears the voice of the patrolling cars at night, but he does not listen it. He stares at the bright stars with his bright eyes. Listen, as we have seen, the tiger in the cage is a victim of human cruelty. Through this poem, Leslie Norris shows his strong protest against the cruelty on animals which are kept inside the cage. Listen, Through this poem, Leslie Norris shows or presents his strong protest against the cruelty on animals which are already kept inside the cage. That means the cruelty on animals is not good. Then whenever you get an opportunity to fight against this, you should do. Then now move on to the moral of this poem. What we learn from this poem. Listen. No animal should be encaged forcibly. No animal should be encaged forcibly. Like humans, all the animals also love freedom. Like human beings, we all love freedom. Like that, all the animals also love freedom. They love roaming around in the forest and do whatever they like. Then as far as the animals or birds are concerned, they love roaming around in the forest and do whatever they like. So from this poem we have seen that the cruelty on animals is not good. Now move on to the important poetic devices used in the poem. One is personification. This one is very familiar to you. Throughout the poem we can see that the tiger is personified. Why? What do you mean by personification? Attribution of human qualities to something non-human. So we can say that the poet has used personification throughout the poem. Next one is metaphor. Metaphor means indirect comparison. Tiger's paws are compared with velvet. Tiger's paws, in the first stanza itself we can see that tiger's paws are compared with velvet. Which word is used in this poem? Parts of velvet. So the poetic device used in that line is metaphor. Next one is alliteration. Alliteration means repetition of consonant sound. He hears, behind bars. You can see more examples while reading the poem. Find out concrete cell, etc. Last one, assonance. Assonance means repetition of vowel sound, particularly in the same line. For example, with his brilliant eyes. The I sound, I, with his brilliant eyes. Now listen once more. Important poetic devices used in this poem. The first one is personification. Personification means attribution of human qualities to something non-human. That means throughout the poem we can see that the tiger is personified. Next one is metaphor. Metaphor means indirect comparison. Tiger's paws are compared with velvet. Parts of velvet. Next one is alliteration. Alliteration means repetition of consonant sound. He hears, behind bars. Last one, assonance. Assonance means a repetition of vowel sound, particularly in the same line. With his brilliant eyes. With his brilliant eyes. I think it's clear for you. Read the poem several times. I will send you the notes through WhatsApp. If you have any doubt, you can contact me. Thank you all.